One got it on the beat, man. Whoa, whoa.
But they're so on this.
One gotta a fan of the football team. To be a reporter, man, it's his dream. One gotta a fan of the football team. To be a reporter, man, it's his dream. You got Terry over there, Chase on the edge. One gotta never miss an upload on the football team. So hit the subscribe for my man. And turn on post notifications. Hit that thumbs up for my man. Watch the team in the Super Bowl.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another Washington football team video, and in today's video I'm coming on here to recap Washington football team's day 7 of Washington football team's training camp. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case our Washington football team. Also, when I said you guys do me a favor, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Juan Gotti Talking Sports. The links are down below in the description. I'm trying to go both of those platforms. Thank you for your follow in advance. And also, I want to tell you guys, if you are going to the practice, the open practice at FedEx Field this Friday, and you want to meet me and say what's up to me and talk about the Washington football team, I will be sitting in section 135. So if you're around there, or if you want to come down there for a couple of minutes and find me, we can talk about the team and stuff like that. And I will thank you personally for watching my channel. Thank you in advance once again for the follow on Instagram and Twitter, and hope to see you guys there Friday. Let's get straight into today's video. So day 7 of Washington football team's training camp. Now that's crazy, man, because if you think about it, we were all, psyched and geeked for training camp, and it's flying by, man. Next week, we have our first preseason game versus the New England Patriots. So it's crazy how fast time is going. Before you know it, we'll be there Sunday versus the LA Chargers. I'm going to stream that game, and I hope to see you guys down there. But, man, it's crazy how fast time is going. Now, let's get into these notes and nuggets about today's training camp per Zach Selsby. Shout out to Zach Selsby. To kick it off, he says Cam Sims working against Kendall Fuller in the one-on-ones, and he snagged it. So once again, Cam Sims continuing to have another strong camp. That's another wide receiver that is on the outside looking in my opinion. But I told you guys this like 3 days ago. Cam Sims, he might be a lock to make this roster now, because like I said, I felt like he was on the outside looking in, just because we have so much talent in the wide receiver room now. If that strong season that he had last year, it might not be enough to carry him over into 2021. But if he continues to have another strong training camp and a preseason, he's going to be a lock. And he's having a strong training camp already. Let's see if it can translate into the preseason. So moving on to the next note here from Zach Selsby. You have Adam Humphries against Lindsey Stephens. I think a lot of people are forgetting about his big connection with Ryan Fitzpatrick. So they're building that rapport that they already had. We know from Tampa Bay, they're just repolishing that connection that they had in Tampa Bay. And then Zach Selsby says you have Dyami Brown versus St Juste, a little rookie on rookie action, and you have Dyami Brown and Benjamin St Juste going back and forth. You have Dyami Brown making a couple good grabs, and you have Benjamin St Juste making some good stops on Dyami Brown. So it's good to see both of our rookies getting some action. We are going to be counting on these guys a lot this upcoming season, so it's good to see them going at it. Moving on, you have Zach Selsby's again. Nice play during team drills by Cole Holcomb. Made the tackle on Antonio Gibson for a minimum gain. Cole Holcomb, yet again, is going into his third year, and he is looking for a humongous year. I think he is going to have it, man. Last year, he really burst onto the scene, and I think this year he's going to be even better than what he was last year. So shout out to Cole Holcomb. Moving on, you have, Fitzpatrick just laid out a pass to Dyami Brown for for what would have been a 30-yard gain. I can already hear the crowd at FedEx going, wow. So Dyami Brown getting some shine, him and Ryan Fitzpatrick getting that rapport. I don't think it's going to be too long before we see that in a real game. Maybe not early in the season, but at some point I can see that being a thing. Moving on, you have that was such a great play by the offense. Heineke hits an open Steven Sims with and then he made a move on Cole Luke before running into the end zone. So shout out to Steve Sims, man. He putting in the work. Once again, another wide receiver who I think is on the outside looking in. The thing with Steve Sims that is going to help him make this roster is his ability to be a threat in the kick return / punt return game. We need him to catch the ball. He said he's been catching 200 passes a day. I don't know how true that is, but hopefully that is true, and hopefully he can, catch the ball this year, because we need it on punt returns and in the slot if he does make this team, because we know how talented Steven Sims is. I just think at a point in time in the beginning of the season last year, he was struggling, and then he continued to struggle, and he heard us. He heard the fans. He heard, the critics. So he ended up getting in his own head, and he started to overthink things. And, when you overthink things, you typically don't do the best. So I feel like that's what happened with Steven Sims. So hoping for the best for Steve Sims. Moving on to the next note here, you have Ricky Seals-Jones with a couple of grabs from Heineke. Seems to be moving well after he went down with the leg contusion in Richmond. So that's good. I like to see Ricky Seals-Jones making plays, because Samus Reyes got banged up too, so he's going to be our number 2 tight end, or number 3 tight end rather. I assume it's going to be John Bates at number 2, but we never know. I haven't been hearing a lot about John Bates. That doesn't automatically mean it's anything bad, but I haven't been hearing anything about John Bates. I have been hearing things about Tanner Hemingway. Zach Selsby said he's having a good camp, so could he be that number 3 tight end? It's a 3-man battle now. At first I thought it was just Ricky Seals-Jones and Samus Reyes, but Tanner Hemingway isn't going away. He's having a strong camp per Zach Selsby, so it's going to be interesting to see who makes this 3rd tight end spot. Moving on, you have the battle between St Juste and Dyami Brown. Have been fun to watch. Brown got a catch against St Juste in one-on-ones, but the cornerback broke up a pass during the 9-on-9 period. So once again, great to see one of our, 2 of our young rookies going at it. Like I said, we're going to be dependent on these guys heavy this season at some point. It may not be early in the season, but at some point in this year's season, we're going to be depending on both of these guys to do something for us and help us be successful. Moving on to the next play, just saw Holcomb do a nice job of filling a running lane, which forced the running back to bounce the play outside. A few may have been on a 1-yard gain at best. Holcomb has been one of Washington's best run defenders for the past 2 years, and he continues to impress. So once again, we know that's really what he strives in the best. We know he can pass cover, but we know his running defense is what carries Cole Holcomb. And Cole Holcomb is just a complete linebacker. I love Cole Holcomb, man. He's been a stud since selecting him in 2019 in the 5th round. So shout out to Cole Holcomb. He is slowly growing to be one of the captains on this defense. So moving on to the next note, you have Steven Sims with another grab as we roll through the last bit of practice. He's been looking solid all day long. So shout out to Steve Sims. He's going to have a big training camp for the rest of this time and preseason, because this guy stunk it up last year, and I'm rooting for Steve Sims, man, because we know the talent is there. So moving on, we have some Jared Patterson news. Jared Patterson showed some good vision on another decent gain. The undrafted rookie has been fun to watch. So another guy on the outside looking in. I really want Jared Patterson to make the roster, not only just because I feel like he can be something for us, bro, but like, he's from PG County, man. He's putting on for the home squad, man, literally the Washington football team, but he's from my area, man. So I'm rooting for him 10 times harder than I'm rooting for anybody else, him and Chase Young and anybody else for that matter. So I really think Jared Patterson, he should make this roster, but we'll see, man, because Peyton Barber isn't letting up. Lamar Miller is having a phenomenal camp, so we'll see. But moving on to the next note here, another impressive grab from Logan Thomas. Asks again, how does he get open? And Logan Thomas is having a phenomenal camp. He got paid, and Zach Selsby said, I asked again, how does he get open? That was that last part of the tweet there. So Logan Thomas is slowly emerging to being a top 10 tight end in the league, and I think he's going to have another big year. And when you speak to Logan Thomas, I just watched his interview on NFL Network. He talks about how his body is just, feeling amazing, man, and he's like playing at an all-time high. So shout out to Logan Thomas once again. Zach Selsby shows retweet. It was a 3rd and 2 during the situational drill, and guess who carried the ball? Peyton Barber, of course, naturally he got the first down. So once again, we know that's Peyton Barber's role. We know he's going to be our short yardage back, and that's why I think he's going to make this roster over the likes of Jared Patterson and Lamar Miller. I really hope Jared Patterson makes this roster again because the upside is there. But once again, Peyton Barber is a guaranteed first down machine on 3rd and 2s, 3rd and 3s, on short yardage plays. So shout out to Peyton Barber for easy money. You know what I'm saying? So moving on, you have Jared Norris grabs an interception and ran down the sideline. Nice way to end practice. So shout out to Jared Norris. We know the linebacking depth is terrible, but if he's making plays like this in the preseason and in training camp, he can possibly help us. But you know that depth is terrible outside of Jamin Davis, out of John Bostic, Cole Holcomb, and Khaleke Hudson is probably our only, real good depth piece. And I know his name is Khaleke Hudson. I know y'all gonna say that, but I like saying Khaleke. So yeah, but our depth is terrible. But if Jared Norris could, make some good plays and help us, and David Mayo can chip in too if he makes his roster, I think we can be okay. But I want us to upgrade the depth so bad because that's probably our only poor spot on this defense. When you move on to the next note, Rivera says he's looking for the next step from his players. After the first year with the team, he's seen the kind of progress from Steven Sims, who has had a strong practice today. So that closes off today's practice. It seemed very short today, didn't it? Normally it seems like it's a lot of notes, but maybe since we're getting towards the preseason, portion and the season time, they're probably focused on, less and less of tweets and more of football action because the season is right around the corner. So yeah, man, let me know what you guys think about today's video. As always, it's me, your boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hail to the Washington football team, who has strong days. Steve Sims, Cam Sims, Benjamin St Juste, Dyami Brown going back and forth. Added Jared Patterson with a nice couple runs. Peyton Barber, AG out there. Taylor Heineke, Ryan Fitzpatrick both looking good. So, hey, man, season's right around the corner. First preseason game is next Thursday, and don't forget, I will be at the practice on Friday, and I'll be sitting in section 135. So if you want to come up to me and we can talk about the football team, I will gladly be there, and I'm excited to meet some of you guys. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Juan Gotti Talking Sports. The links are down below in the description. It's me, boy Juan Gotti. I'm out. Peace. Cross me one time, that's gonna get you pop, get you poppin', get you driving, slide on the one way that get you boxed on.